So, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so today's session is all about Python environment setup, GitHub, and CI/CD. So I know everyone is from different background. Maybe some of you are new to developments. Some of you have the background. So I will try to explain as much as possible, like if you're a beginner. So let's start. So what's Python? Python is a high-level programming language used widely for data science, web development, automation, and it's a main language for also AI. So Python is a simple syntax. Python simple syntax makes it like ideal for beginners. Uh, it has a rich ecosystem of libraries we're going to use for the future, like pandas, uh, matplotlib, and so on. So we're gonna see it in the future. So what we're gonna do is when we set up our environment, we can choose IDs and editors. So for now, I use Windows computer, so I'm using base code, and also you can use cursor. It's base code with an AI. So and also you can use PyCharm for more advanced setup. So it's all about your choosing. So for now, I'm using base code. So let's talk about the installing Python. So for Windows, uh, I put all the link here for you for Windows, like for Mac OS and for Ubuntu. It's a simple direct instruction. You can also click here the links and see the installation. We don't have to go into the detail. So one thing I want to tell you guys, when you install the Python, always make sure to add like to add it to a Python path. You make sure to click the add Python exe to the path. If that's not happening, it will have an error showing us Python is not recognized or the path isn't set. So if that happens, what you're going to do is like you're going to uh, usually it tells us Windows to find Python, list from Python from any folder in command prompt. This is setting up path. So this usually done during installation. Like check the add Python to the path to make it automatic. So you don't have to do this manually. If Python still isn't recognized, or you forgot to check add to pass, I have added the link here for you. You can click adding pass and you can follow the instruction. So make sure to add to the pass in the first place. So another thing is it's the most important thing in development in the future wise of the projects. It's a Python virtual environment. So what's virtual Python environment? So it's a private workspace for your project. It's like a container. It keeps your code and libraries separate from others. So it contains its own Python version package, so you can test, build, and safely. It's more of like a container, so you don't have to get mixed up with other projects. For example, one project needs like Panda version different from the other one. So if we do it in Python environment, it can safely separate it. So there won't be a dependency on the general Python. So it prevents conflicts when different projects need different library versions. It's easy to create or delete. Think of it as a disposable sandbox for experiments. So if you don't want to use that version of, for example, pandas, and we want to create a project that needs like older version of pandas, we can just create another one and delete this one without affecting anything. So Usually it's stored in a folder named vmv or .vmv. We're going to see it in the later. So creation of the virtual environment. So for Windows, we going to use this Python uh, -m vmv.vmv. For Mac. I have put it all the I have put the code here. So for after creating the virtual environment, we need to activate the virtual environment. So also for Windows and Mac OS, and then when we finish all our development, we're going to deactivate it. It's the same for all of it. So let's talk about Git and GitHub. So Git is a version control tool. It tracks every change in your code, like save history for your project. And GitHub is a cloud platform that hosts your Git project so you can share it and collaborate online. So Git, you can think of it like your small time machine on your local machine. So you can go back to a previous version. For example, if you want to test some features while it's in production, you can create a branch and work on that. And when you finish, you can merge it to the main branch. So the main thing is it's not affecting the working environment. So you can create a copy of it. You can save every save point. So it will help us. For example, why we use them? It's keep a full change history. You can undo mistakes easily, collaborate with others without overwriting each other's work, work safely on new features using branches before merging to a main code, like I said. So what would happen if you don't use Git or GitHub? So you risk losing your progress or overwriting files. If you're using only one file and you keep editing over and over again, you might forget where you did what. So in Git, you can revert back to your previous version without affecting anything. So collaboration becomes confusing and it's error to prone. Yeah, so you can also put it here, like how to install Git. You can follow the link and install it on your computer. So some key concepts in Git are repository, like it's a repo, it's a collection of your files and folders along with their version history. So it can be either local or remote on GitHub. You're going to see it. So a commit is a snapshot of a change made to the repository at a particular time. Each commit has a unique identifier called hash. So so branches are allow developers to work on separate features or bug fixes without affecting the main code base. So this is what I was talking about. So if there is, like, for example, we can say an app that's deployed and used by users. What if we want to make a feature, add a feature on that app? So we can't just directly go and code on that uh, branch. So we have to create another branch. So it's more of a copy. Then we can work on that and test it. And when we are sure that it's working, we can merge it back to the main branch. So it won't affect anybody. So merging is like, yeah, like I said, merging combines change from one branch into another. So these are some of the essential Git commands. Git version, the first thing you have to do is like check your version. Yeah, Git clone, we're going to see all of this in a couple of minutes in the demo. So working with branch, yeah, we're going to see this. So the last thing we are talking about is CI/CD. So continuous integration, yeah, is a practice of merging code change from developers into a shared repository frequently. And a CD is like automated process of building, testing, and deploying code change to a different environment. So it will keep testing our environment when we push it to GitHub. So we don't have to manually check every single time when we commit, or it can catch us. It will help us catch errors prior to deploy it to our branches. So CI/CD is not one process, but rather two practices that work together. So best practice for CI/CD is like make small frequent code commits, write clear and concise build instructions, implement comprehensive unit integration and security testing, automate deployment to reduce manual errors, continuous monitor application for performance and errors. So how to apply say ICD. So we're going to see this also. So we've put a reference for you guys here. You can follow along. So let's go to the demo. So you can see my screen, right? Okay, so what we first gonna do is we have to create a new repository on Git. So if you don't know Git, sorry guys. So first thing you have to do is you have to create a GitHub account. If you don't have one, you can sign up. If you already have, you have to log in. So let's go to login. So if I already have a GitHub account, so I'm going to log in directly. But if you don't have one, you have to create and follow the instructions. It's very easy. So what we are going to do first is like we have to create a repository for our project. So let's go here and click new and repository name. For example, for now we just have to say taste. But for you guys, you can put the project name, anything that's more describe your project. So in description also you can put your description, paste repo for now. So make sure it's public so we can see it, and the grader also needs to have access. So it must be a public. Don't make it a private. So you can add README if you want. Yeah. So license, it's you can leave it for now. You can there is no license, Apache license. It doesn't matter for now. So let's create the repository. This is it. Just create the repo name, description. Just make sure, guys, make sure like it's public. So let's create a repo. Okay, so we have created our first repository. So what we are going to do is now uh, you go here, you click code, and there is a code for you to clone to your local environment. So we have to copy here since I'm using Windows. So let's create a folder. Okay. make it clear. Test. So copy your path here. This might be different for everyone, so copy your paths. First, even you don't have to go to the base code or anything, just CD and paste your paths to go directly there. So what this means is we are going to clone our GitHub repo to our local folder here, test. So this is just setting our path. So CD is directing to the path. So what we're going to do is git clone. Let's go over here. Copy. So we are cloning our repository to our local folder. So let's go and see it. See? We have our repository locally. So we have the git and the readme. We checked the readme file, so it appears here. So let's go to our base code. I'm using base code for now, so you can use your own choosing ID. So we're going to open a folder, and we're going to go to test here, and you can select the folder. Yes. So this is the first interface you will get when you open your folder. Here is your folder name. We only have one file because, as you can remember, we have only one README file here. So one branch, there's nothing in it. So first thing we are going to do is like open terminal. You can go here, terminal, new terminal. So as you can see, this is a path where our files are going to be located, the local one. So first thing is first, we are going to do, like we have talked about, a virtual environment. First thing is first. So let's create a virtual environment. So since I'm in Windows environment, Python, and so Python M VMV. So this is the name of my virtual environment. You can put whatever you want here, guys. You can say it's my environment. So this is just general term for our environment. So let's create our virtual environment. Okay, so we have our first virtual environment. So as you can see, it will appear here. It will have a bunch of files here. So like I said, after creating our virtual environment, we are going to activate it. So if you don't activate it, it's just created and stays there. So we need to activate it. Don't forget, guys, like after we create a virtual environment, we are going to activate it. So how are we going to do that? I put that code on the slides, .vmv, scripts, activate. So when it's activated, you will have this green toggle, and it will show you that it's activated. So we have created our virtual environments and also activated it. So what we are going to do next is I think you have seen the folder structure here, right? So as you can see here, there is a file called gitignore, right? So we are going to see that. Let me create a file here. So you're going, no, yes. So first thing is first, you always create a gitignore and add the virtual environment to your gitignore. So gitignore, when you put the name of your files in gitignore, it will not be uploaded to GitHub when you push it. So like Kerod was explaining, don't ever put data on your GitHub. Don't put your virtual environment in your GitHub. So first thing is first, always put GitHub as a virtual environment in your gitignore. So if you have data for the future, we're going to see it. So like I heard, I was seeing comments on last session, like there was no data folder in the structure, so we can create here for your data. And let me show you guys. So you have to also put your data folder in gitignore, so it won't be uploaded to GitHub directly. So we have created our virtual environments, we activated it, and we have put our files to gitignore, so it will not be pushed to the GitHub. So let's create some files. Let me show you guys how to create this folder structure. For example, you can create your requirements here. So what is a requirement folder? So requirement folder helps us to deploy our environment. If we clone it or if we use it on another device, it will hold all the dependencies here. So we are going to see how we put all our dependencies here. So let's create one notebook for now. Yeah. So to not confuse, guys, this is like for a new file, and when you want to create a folder, you have to click here, new folder. So I just created, let me rename it, notebook folder, and inside of it, we are going to talk about the packaging initiation for next time. But for now, you have to create a file here, micro. So this is your first notebook. You have to create it like IPYMB with the extension that. So let's create. So this is your notebook file. You are going to work most of your projects. So we have a markdown. We can put this is our first notebook. So as you can see, notebook is like a combination of our markdown and the code. So we can put also here analysis and its output. So it is very helpful for data science and data analytics. So next let us. I am audible, right, guys? Yeah, okay. So so what else? So for example, let us create another file here. Okay, so for instance, we have created the requirements README file. We can put for paste again, like when we saved. This will be tracked down here, but before we talk about this extension, we need to be familiar with Git commands. So first thing is first, we have to see Git status. So let me go here. So what does git status do for us is it's overview of what we are doing. So we are on a master branch. The branch is up to date with origin. Change not staged for commit. It will show us, untrack the files. It also show us. So we need to see this before we do anything. So let's go to git add. If we put dot, it will add all the files to the staging. But if we want the specific files, we can also put the file name, for example, like readme dot change. See the change here? It's staged now. So it's ready to be committed. So if we want only this one to be committed, so we need git commits like first commit. Here you put the descriptive commit message when you commit. So let's see. It's tracked now. So we can see it here. First commit. We can see first commit when it's pushed. So we can revert back. So this is, and also we can do it in GUI. So we can add here. When we click the plus button, it will go to staging stage. So here we can put a commit folder structure, creating folder structure, for example, creating folder structure. So we can also commit here. So what we did now is like we add to the staging and we committed to GitHub. So this is where we push to GitHub. For now, we didn't push anything to GitHub. We just work on our local machine. So this thing change, or in command, we can do git push. So get familiar with both of the commands, and also here in source control. So what we did is like we pushed our files to GitHub. So let's see it. Let's refresh. See here, we have the notebook, the git ignore, the readme, the requirements. Are you guys noticing that there is no vmv or data folder, right? So this is because we added those to git ignore. So it will ignore them and just push the other folders to GitHub. So what else? So this is our master branch. So what do we do so when we need to create another branch? So let's see that. So let's see where we are first. Git branch. So here we are in master branch. So let's create another one. It's branch. For example, developments. Yeah, we have created. So we need to go to that branch. First, we have to check if it's created or not. It's branch. So here you can see, guys, there is a dev and master. So but we are in master branch. So how do we move from master to dev branch? So we have to say git checkout div. See, we are in div branch now. So let's see that's you can see here we are on development branch, but we haven't published it yet. So we can publish the branch here. So let's go to our GitHub and see the effect. Here it is, it's a development branch. So we have the master branch and the development branch. So when you are asked, guys, here to create a setup task, this is how you do it. Create a branch called setup task. So, and also we have talked about the git ignore, and you have to commit frequently. So when you made a change, you have to commit with the change message. So you can also refer that like the best way to commit and how often you have to commit. So for this project, I think you have to at least 3 commits for your folder structure. So what we are going to do is, for example, since we are on the development branch, let's create another file called source. So here we need to create UI. So when you change something, it will appear here in source control. So, or you can go here and hit status. See, you have an untracked file called source. So what we're going to do, I showed you, we have to stage it, then commit. For now, just creating source file. So we have to push to GitHub if we want, or we can just keep working here and push all at once. So for now, we have to push and pull. Okay, so let's see the difference. Before we do anything, there is no source folder right here. Yeah, but when we go to dev, as you can see, there is a source file. So the difference is we only created the source file in development, not in the main branch. So when we go to the master, there is no source file. So when we finish working on the development and we want to merge it to the main branch, so what are we going to do? Git. So we have to go back to the main branch first. So let's git checkout master. So we have to make sure we are on the right branch. So sorry guys, git branch. So we are on master now. So we are okay. So we want to merge the development branch to the master. So we need to git merge this. So we need to think pull and push the commits. All done. So let's see the effect here. See, as you can see, we have the source file in master now, but we didn't create it here. We merged the branch. So what else, guys? So is it clear, guys? Any questions? Let's go to Okay. So okay. So Daniel said what is virtual environment and what it does actually. So as I was mentioning, virtual environment is, think of it like you have uh, let's create an analogy. So you are in a restaurant, for example, let's say, and you have a big tray, and there are like 5 people or 4 people there. So, but they want different things. For example, one needs like is onions, the other one hits onion. Like, so what you're going to do is you don't give everything all at once. So you create a container, hence the virtual environment. So you put all the packages, the dependencies, all the recipes there, different from the other one. So when the other person wants, you can also create another one. Like it might be the same, or it might need an additional, like one ingredient more or less, or like a different brand. So when we come to our Python environment, like you install Python environment to your PC. So but when you create projects, maybe you need Panda version, like older version on one project, and you are working, for example, let's say you are working on like one project and you started it in like 2023, for example. So you used that's your version of any, like, for example, Pandas. But now you need to create a project in 2025. So what will we do? So you create a virtual environment so you wouldn't disturb the other one. So you create the new environment and install the latest pandas if you want. So it will avoid any dependencies. You don't have to uninstall the Python and again install the Python. So it's more of a container for your projects. So it's really important. I hope I answered your question, Daniel. Okay, thank you. So, okay, Abbas, you can.
የኔ ጥያቄ ምን መሰለህ? ይሰማል?
ይሰማኛል።
አሁን አንተ እንዳለ የሰራኸው ፎልደር ስትራክቸሩን ቤዝ ኮር ላይ ነው ማለት ነው።
የስ
ቡክ የምንጠቀም ይሄን ፎልደር ስትራክቸር እንዴት ነው የምናደርገው? ወይስ ሁለቱ ሊንክ ማድረግ እንችላለን?
I'm sorry?
አናኮንዳ ብትጠቀም ኖትቡክ ጁፒተር ኖትቡክን በአናኮንዳ ብትጠቀም
Yes, but you need all. Okay, yeah. So you need all the files there. Like for example, you use Jupyter Notebook for only the Jupyter Notebook. Yeah. What about the other ones? It's a whole development cycle as I show you. Like you need to use an ID like VS Code, Cursor, or PyCharm. Yeah, it's a must.
So maybe I just wanted to add on this one. So Abbas, I think so I understand that's coming from maybe I don't know, like data science or data maybe machine learning background. To come from that, maybe a Jupyter notebook or a Colab notebook could be enough, right? To do just a simple task, to just train a model, like to just do some simple analysis and so on. But here, what we are trying to do is the whole development step or the whole development process. So for that, you're gonna need the whole. So for this week, you made. If you don't do the bonus project or the bonus task that we have discussed in the challenge introduction, you may not need to have scripts, but normally in a normal or in any organizational development structure, you will need to have this kind of structure. So for like Anaconda or Jupyter notebooks, you may only, if you only work with Jupyter notebook and only that will be enough. But for now, we're trying to have the whole like a development process, and you will learn how to do them and so on and so on. So don't worry about it. If you are new to that, we can definitely help. We can hop on a call and get you set up. But I think Filimon already has shown all of us how to do it. But like like he said, like VS Code and others are just IDs. The folders are created on your machine. Okay. So I just wanted to highlight that for Abbas.
Okay, so let's see one more thing I forgot. So I was talking about the requirements file. So how you're going to do it, and let's just do one example. So I was saying you need to install like packages. Like for example, let's install pandas. So when you're installing a package, it will directly go to your virtual environment, not your total environment. So when you delete your virtual environment, it will also be removed from your entire file. So here we are installing Panda. So we have one dependency now, right? So that dependency must be in requirements file. So how are we going to do that? We don't do manual. We can do manual, but like we can do here. Keep ways. By the way, I've put all the codes in the slide, and I'm going to share you guys, so you don't have to worry. Here, see. So this will make your okay, so here it is. So when we it's like freeze requirement text as it is, like it will directly copy all our dependencies here. We install like pandas, numpy, python, like this is the default ones, but we installed panda. So when we add another package, it will appear here. So once in a while, you have to do like pip freeze for dependency. So what this helps us is when we try to clone or do our projects in different environments, we just have to install our requirement text, and it will install everything that the project needs. So as you can see, like this, every time you need you make a change, you need to commit and stage it. So like adding the requirements. So one thing we didn't do is like in the folder structure, there is, I think, GitHub workflow. Yeah, CI/CD. So you need to create a folder here, .github, and inside of it, workflow. So inside of it, for example, is say so for now, I have just prepared a small CI/CD document. I'm going to share you in the resources later. Let's see. I have put all the comments here so you can understand what it does. So we have to save this. So CI/CD is it will catch errors before we manually see it. It will automate our deployment. So every time it's on a push and pull request, it will run this code. So what this code does is it will check all our code, and it runs them, and it will see like if it has error or not. So it will tell us if it has. So for example, let's see if it works. Like we need to commit. Yeah, CD. For now, we don't have a code, but it will run all your environments when you push and pull. So where will you find it? Here. I think we need to push here first. Okay, so here this has to be like workflows, not workflow. So that was the error. So here you can see it will run every time you push in actions, and it will give us if we have an error, if it's working perfectly. So this is CI/CD. It's running now. So as you can see, everything is working fine. So we don't have any error. So in short, this will help us. Like for example, we were doing something and we accidentally changed some code that will like corrupt the file, or it's like የተበላሸ ነገር ካለ it will catch the error here and it will show us. So for now it's okay. So this is it, guys, for today. If you have any questions, let me know. So any question, guys? So let me go over here. Ferret asked, like, can we use Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook? Yes, for like the notebook part, you can work on that, but since we are here teaching you guys like how the real environment works, so you need to use an ID like base code, cursor, like I said, or PyCharm. So can we get an attachment that guide us to practice afterwards the training? Yes, we are going to send you guys the materials. So Barnabas asked, "Is this today independent challenge work?" Yes, this is part of it. Like I showed you guys. Task 1 is all about its setup, environment setup. So this is pretty much like task 1. I showed you guys how you can create your repository, how you commit, you branch. Yeah. So task 1 is all about setting up your environment. So we are going to share the video, Firo. Okay. I use Linux, so my editors are, and I use this to only. Or do we have to get a base code? Or Enoch Mulugeta. So yeah, if you have your ID, work.
Yeah, maybe just to clarify, so base code or other IDs are not I missed or like I should have. They're just our recommendations. So if you are comfortable with other IDs, you can use those as well.
Wait.
Okay, so if the virtual environment and data aren't pushed to the remote repo, how the CI runs without these things, like it needs data. So the whole point of the CI/CD is like continuous integration, and for example, in real environment, not only one developer works on one repository or one branch. So it will come from different people. So yeah, you need to, yeah, so the whole point of it is like when you push to GitHub, it will have a error-free code. So yeah, it's for GitHub. Okay, so Darajay, maybe if I'm not mistaken, if you're asking that it's related to the virtual environment and the data, it's not just, it's a different file and it's a different folder for it. So we don't put, like you can see, we didn't put in git ignore. So we need to push the CI/CD file. So it's not related to that, if that's your question. Did I answer your question? Daraj?
አይ ለምሳሌ ዳታውን ጊትግኖሮ ላይ አድ የምናደርገው ከሆነ ሲአይሲዲው ላይ ራን ሲያደርግ ያንን ሪሶርስ አይፈልገውም ወይ ነው። ለምሳሌ ኤንቫይሮንመንት ቫሪያብሎች ይኖሩ አይደለ? እሱን ጊታባሽኑ ላይ ኮንፊገር ካላደረግነው ሲአይ ላይ ራን ሲያደርግ እሱን ሪሶርስ ካጣው እንዴት ነው ራን የሚያደርገው? ቢኮዝ ኤንቫይሮንመንታል ቫሪያብሎች እና ዳታ ኦልሬዲ ፑሽ ስላልተደረገ ወደ ሪሞት ሪፖ የሚል ጥያቄ ነው።
Okay, so it's not really related. So it will run all the codes locally, or it will run all your files, but it doesn't need your data in the GitHub. So it will run everything and it will push to GitHub. So it's not related to the data or any virtual environment. So
ለምሳሌ እንትኑን ዳታ አናሊሲስ ስንሰራው ለምሳሌ ሲኤስቪ ፋይሉን ልንጠቀም አይደለም? ስለዚህ እሱን ሲኤስቪ ፋይል ደግሞ ወደ ሪሞት ሪፖርት ፑሽ የማይደረግ ከሆነ እንዴት ነው ራን ሊያደርግ የሚችለው? ሲአይ ላይ ነው። ሎካል ማሽን ከሆነ ዳታ ኦልሬዲ ሎካል ኮምፒውተር ላይ ስላለ እሱን ያገኘዋል፣ ሪሶርሱን ይጠቀማል።
So maybe just to clarify it, Daraja, so like the tasks and like the virtual environment, the tasks, the data, and CI/CD are different things. So for the CI/CD, you don't really need any of this. So for the CI/CD, it's going to check. So it's going to the earlier code that you have seen is going to first what's going to do is it's going to check the Python version it's working on currently, and then like it's going to install the dependencies. So that's all it is going to do. Further down the road, we're going to see how we can add tests so that in deployment, when we push, it's going to check against some types of tests and report to us if it fails, just depending on the tests. Or other times, you may need to see if your company has some sort of formatting when you write scripts. You may need to see if everything is up to date or like following that script or that formatting strategy or like the formatting that your company uses. So you can also add that to the CI/CD. So the CI/CD and the analysis are different things. So it's not going to run like the code like when he was saying run the code. It's not like it's going to run the code, do the analysis, and so on and so on. So it's just going to check for the tests or the things that you have set for it to do step by step on another machine. So in our case, maybe if you can open the code, the CI, the continuous integration code. So you can see step by step, you can see what it's trying to do, right? So the first one is just the setup, what it uses, and then you can see it's going to use the Python version 3.11, and then it's going to install the dependencies, which is found in the requirements.txt file, which is already there, not ignored. And then finally, it's going to check for the Python version. It's not going to do any analysis or anything like that. So this is going to help us know if so this is very simple. Like I want to mention that since this is just a starting point, this is just the basic or starting code or CI continuous integration code that you will be using for this week only. And then down the road, we will see how we can integrate tests so that every time we push, our code is going to be tested against a certain tests, and if it fails, it's going to reject it and so on. So we will see that, but like it's not, it does like for this specific case, it's not going to do any of that. Like it's not going to need the data, it's not going to run the codes or anything. So is that clear, Daraja? Good. Sorry.
Okay, so thank you, Gerard. So I haven't attended the whole class. Can you please share the video and tell us, where we are going to share you all the materials and also the video, guys. So no worries. So how to switch between different version of requirements like Python 3 points. So when you create your project, you must know like what version of Python you need to be using. So you can't really switch between like in the middle of the project. So when you want, you need to create another virtual environment with version 12. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. I think there are just concern on deployment part of CI/CD since it's related to deployment. It needs the data and related stuff. Yeah, I think Gerald covered that. So is there any question, guys? Mariam, no, you can use any version of Python as you like. Yeah, there is no specific. Yeah. Yes, it depends on your projects, what you do. Maybe it needs different version of Python. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. So since if you don't have any question, we're going to end the session here. Thank you, guys. Okay, Tababu. Hello, Tababu. Yes, you can continue. Okay, maybe it's for a mistake. So thank you, guys. Goodbye.